Alright folks, it is July 8th, 6:24 a.m. and I have a bunch of gems here to share from the papers, and it is awesome, awesome stuff. The coolest one that I got this morning is the Pan Am Games. Wow, Pan Am is 45 and Games is 45. And then when you say the Pan Am Games, that adds to 1, 2, 3 perfectly. Better yet, the Pan Am Games are this year held in Toronto, in Canada, and Toronto adds to 102, which is the first three-digit number that divides by 3, with all the letters in Toronto that don't divide by 3, TNT, equaling love perfectly. And so when you say Pan Am Games Toronto, that's 8 times 888, 192. Add the word the in front and you get 225, which is the Queen's full birth name, 15 times 15, and that is also the precise total of the current year, 2015. When you speak it in text, is that number 225, which is 15 times 15. So, altogether, when you say the Pan Am Games Toronto, 2015, that's 225 plus 225. And of course, this is the quintessential British Empire athletic event, the Pan Am Games. So, I'm placing a lot of chips on this Pan Am Games that it's going to be loaded with threes. Just loaded with threes. There are going to be a lot of things that happen that glorify the number 3, including the names of people, who wins gold medals, who wins silver, bronze, everything that happens, down to the detail, obvious threes. Like, who knows? Only God knows, but we're just going to watch the threes just spill onto our lap as it just keeps coming. I've got all these things in articles. I deliver the morning papers and I get the first crack on all the gems that are coming forth, and I pull out the articles that I'm going to share gems on, so I'll probably show you the actual articles themselves in a minute. Next on the list is the Stanley Park Open. This is an 84-year-old tennis tournament in Vancouver, and lo and behold, it adds the exact same value as the Pan Am Games Toronto. So Stanley Park Open is 8 times 888, 192. Add the word the in front and you get the famous 225 again, which is 15 times 15. And that is the exact value of the current year. 2015 is 15 times 15. And I believe it's exactly the 84th year of the tournament. So, like I say, folks, these gems are decades, if not centuries in the making, of course, in the mind of God. I'm just going to zoom this out a little bit so I got a little more vertical room there. That's fine. And then funny stories. Like, I got a ton of stories from, like, amazing stories. A red Trek bike, the 75-year-old, this is just crazy. It's just obvious how God is just delivering these threes into the palm of my hand. And so I'm here to preach on them for the glory of God. So, what to grab first? Well, I will just grab, let's get some of this stuff on the board because I like actually writing stuff. Oh, this was a revelation I got while I was lying down, just waiting to hear God speak. Even plus odd equals Jehovah, and find love. E plus D is 9, N plus D is 18, E plus V is 27. 9, 18, 27, that's a pair of 27s to equal love, and you got the bonus O on top, just like the word Jehovah. So even plus odd, as in numbers, or anything you want, even or odd, whatever, parallels Jehovah. They equal the same number, and they only have one letter that divides by 3 in them, and that's the O. Okay? So, even plus odd equals Jehovah, and you find love, 9, 99, 999 to equal love right there. So, whether even or odd, or even and odd, Jehovah takes the glory for it all. Even numbers, odd numbers, anything even, anything odd you want to talk about. And then if you put the word or in there, say even or odd, then you add 33 points to 69, which gives you 102, which is the first three-digit all-factor 8 number that divides by 3 perfectly. And then you have exactly 9 letters, 3 times 3, in 3 words, And then what's extra special is then you have 3 letters that divide by 3, 3 that are plus 1 over a multiple of 3, and 3 that are plus 2 over a multiple of 3. So I wrote that up here. You've got 3 that are plus 1, 3 that are plus 2, and 3 that divide by 3 in the divine phrase, even or odd. And then you've got 4 letters for the even plus 2 for the or. That's 6 letters in total. And then 3 on the end for odd. So 3 words, 3 times 3 letters, 3 letters that divide by 3, 3 that are plus 1, 3 that are plus 2. We found love in it. Adds to the first 3-digit number that divides by 3. So this is a divine word from the living God. This is not something that I receive while reading something on my own. This is what comes into my head while I'm lying in silence on my bed, waiting for Jehovah to speak to me. And these are the words that come into my head, with the numbers, obviously. Completely out of nowhere. I was not thinking about math or numbers or anything like that. I'm just waiting in silence for Jehovah to speak. These are the words that come into my mind. Even plus odd equals Jehovah. Okay, and then add the word or in there and you get the glory like we just talked about. And so I immediately jump up from my bed, write it on the board, and then go lie back down. And now I'm making a video on it. So, even or odd, Jehovah takes the glory for all numbers in all of history, which is his story, for all time in all the earth, because all the numbers exist all over the world, regardless of what language you speak. Okay? You know, 5 goats in Canada is the same as 5 goats in Germany and Pakistan. Okay. And then this was another personal revelation here, that God is my Boaz. You know the story of Ruth and Boaz in the Bible, where Boaz is like the provider for Ruth? God is my Boaz, my provider. Derek plus Boaz divides by 3, just like Derek plus God divides by 3. And that's just a personal revelation, God's encouragement. Okay, so back to the newspaper articles. So much glory on there, I almost don't want to erase it, but it's all been recorded so we can make room for more. And I'll probably just go off the actual newspaper articles here. So, now what was the first one? I like to get these in order of what I saw first. We could do some of the ones from yesterday. Whatever, just not too critical. Let's get the Pan Am Games gem on the board, because that is just exceptional. And I just want to, these are all such juicy gems. It's like I just want to meditate on so many of them. But let's just notch it up in the corner here. As long as it's recorded in voice, that's what matters. So, Pan Am Games. So, Pan Am Games. So Pan Am equals 45 by Divine Ordinance. Games equals 45. So that adds to 90. Which is king for the number 3, but they both equal. That's amazing. And then you can get a 15 here plus a 30 here. 15 plus 30 is 45. And then 12 plus 33 here to get your 45. And then you put the in front, the Pan Am Games, and that'll bring you up to 123. 1, 2, 3 perfectly. Amazing. Well, this is very special because this year the Pan Am Games are in Toronto, Canada. Toronto equals 102, of course, which is the same value as this even or odd we just solved. Is the first 3-digit all-factorated number that divides by 3 perfectly. The 3 letters that don't divide by 3 in Toronto equal love perfectly, TNT. And then so when you add this 102 to this party, you get the very famous 225, which is the full birth name of the Queen. Queen Elizabeth II, Elizabeth Alexandra Mary, adds perfectly to 225, which is the perfect square of 15, and 15 is king for 3. Oh, the center of God and all the rest of it. 15 times 15. So the Pan Am Games, you got to be kidding me. Pan Am plus Games 45-45, it's an obvious 15 fest. The Pan Am Games Toronto now adds to 15 times 15. But then the best part of all is this current year, 2015. On your lips in 3 words, TWOTHOUSANDFIFTEEN adds perfectly to 225, which is 15 times 15. And of course, when you write the date with the year on the end, dates are always just three parts. Okay, you write 090915. You actually just write the 15, 2015 on the end. It's the third part of the date, and you just write 15. And I wrote a very special date because on the 9th day of the 9th month of this year, Queen Elizabeth will become, God willing, the longest reigning British monarch in the history of the British Empire. It's an obvious 3 fest that's coming up on the 9th day of the 9th month of this year. Very, very awesome. But never before in the history of the Pan Am Games, and this is so exciting, they haven't started yet, but it's coming up, and I'm just believing and would go so far as to say, absolutely, prophesying, there's going to be a massive 3 fest put on display at this particular Pan Am Games in Toronto, Canada, 2015. Because you've got to be kidding me. Pan Am Games, 45 plus 45, triple 15 plus triple 15. The Pan Am Games Toronto adds to 15 times 15. And the exact year is 2015, which adds to, like, I'm going to write it out, 2015, so you can know how it works. This is the secret. 2015 in text adds perfectly to 225, which equals 15 times 15, which equals the Pan Am Games Toronto, which equals the full birth name of the Queen, who is on track this year on the 9th day of the 9th month to become the longest reigning monarch in British Empire history, which is the Davidic throne. She is the blood of King David, and that is the throne which God swore would last forever until Jesus Christ returns. So it's very special, and the Pan Am Games is the quintessential British athletics event, you know, or the Commonwealth Games is another one, but the Pan Am Games is, anyways, but just boom. So that is going to be huge. There are going to be 3s in obvious fashion that happen in this event. Okay, so I'm very excited about that. Okay, so the next gem to talk about is the Stanley Park Open, and tennis no less. So here it is. Here's the paper that I delivered. It's called The Province. Both words divide by 3. The Province. Sports. Tennis divides by 3. It's love. It's 81. 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. And there's the date and time. Wednesday, many classify as the 3rd day of the week. A fine history for Stanley Park Open. Well, Stanley Park Open adds to 192, 8 times 888. So my sirens are already going off. I'm already like super excited about this. 2 very famous 8 times 888s in very recent sports history. We saw the Triple Crown winner, jockey Victor Espinoza. Okay, his full birth name is 8 times 888. Okay, and that's why he won the Triple Crown. And with all the 3s we preached on in that story. And then we saw Andre Iguodala from Golden State Warriors win. Andre Tyler Iguodala, Christian man, his full birth name is 8 times 888, 192. And there's his NBA Finals MVP trophy. And Golden State Warriors is 3 to the power 5. 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. And we preached on the 3s of this whole team, and they're Christian. But Andre Iguodala, the NBA Finals MVP, his full birth name is 8 times 888, 192. So let's get this straight. 8 times 888. NBA Finals MVP. Let's get this straight. 8 times 888. Winner of the Triple Crown. Jockey, making history at the 147th Belmont Stakes, no less, which divides by 3. And let's get this straight one more time. Stanley Park Open, the longest running public tennis tournament in BC, adds to 8 times 888. And I do believe, by this man's calculations, it is the 84th year. And 84 is a king number for 3, 7 full set of 12s. So now we're really paying attention to Stanley Park Open. This is a local gem that is close to my home. It's in Vancouver. And tennis, of course, is 81, which is 3 times 3 times 3, and Stanley is 96 all by itself, and Park and Open knit together to bump this Glory Fest up to 8 times 888. So we are hot on this one. This is a story of God that is 84 years in the making. God loves sport and God loves tennis. I marvel at how God is using sports like crazy to glorify himself. And God knows I love sports like crazy. I want to bring you all the sports stories. And I'm just plugging in this video camera because I'm being notified that I need to. So don't go away. Incidentally, I don't have it screwed to the tripod, which is why it readily moves around. I like it that way in case I feel like popping it off and heading somewhere. Okay, now it's going to have a little... It doesn't matter to me if it's straight or not. I just want to get this off. That's fine. As long as we're being recorded and it's getting published. So, you got to be kidding me. Tennis, Stanley Park Open, 8 times 888. You can see there is nice large capital letters on their promotional poster. Capitals of Kings. So, it's an annual event. The word annual divides by 3. The word annual is meant to have the word an in front because it starts with an. Look at, there's 2 an's in annual. A-N-N-A. So when you say an annual event, that's 15 plus 15 plus 15 plus the 33. Which by my calculations equals 78. So an annual event, and then event divides by 3. So an annual event of any sort glorifies the Trinity. Annual event has survived 84 years and is one of the world's biggest public tennis tournaments. So the word tournament divides by 3, tennis divides by 3, public divides by 3, biggest divides by 3, public tennis tournament divides by 3, oldest divides by 3. You get the idea. Biggest, oldest, public tennis tournament divides by 3. 84, you're just like, whoa, hot spot here. We're in the hot spot of the Trinity glorifying himself here. So, I mean, this is the director, Stanley Park Open. So the Stanley Park Open, so when you say the Stanley Park Open, that equals 225, which equals 15 times 15. And I'm telling you, what's really special about this, folks, is this year is the year 2015, which equals the same number. So I'm telling you, in this particular year, this year, like not last year, not next year, but this year, there are going to be very special things happen at the Stanley Park Open in Vancouver for the number 3, for the glory of the Trinity. Do the math yourself. The Stanley Park Open adds perfectly to 15 times 15. And the current year is 2015, which adds perfectly to 15 times 15. God has been getting me into tennis just this year. I'm not joking. I was not into tennis, and I didn't see this one coming. I didn't even know this existed until I read this story this morning in the paper. But I just started playing tennis this year. This year. With my brother Jason. Derek plus Jason divides by 3. And with my brother Jonathan. Yesterday we played Derek plus Jonathan divides by 3. Both Derek plus Jason and Derek plus Jonathan are chain linked and booking it with 3s. So we were like foreordained to play tennis together. And now I'm just like, whoa. The oldest. So it runs from July 3rd to the 19th. So it's already started. And today's July 8th. So you've got another 12 days of this tournament left. You gotta be kidding me. There's Lord Stanley. You know? So Stanley divides by 3, 96. Ball, of course, is 27. Tennis ball is therefore 4 27s. Okay? So tennis is a triple of 27, and ball is 27. Very obvious. So it's an 84-year-old public tennis tournament. And wow. And so I'm just going to read a few gems for you. This is really obvious to me. That Stanley Park Open equals 192 equals 8 times 888. Wait a second. Oh my goodness. Stanley equals Park Open. Now, you could get creative here. Stanley Park is open. So now you can talk about an open Stanley Park, or the opening of Stanley Park. Stanley Park is the name of the park. And then open classifies it as a public tournament. But Stanley equals 96. Park plus open equals 96. You got to be kidding me. So this is 96 right here. This is 96 right here. Both divide by 24,888. This is 4 24s. This is 4 24s. Altogether, it makes 8 24s. 8 times 888. But I'm telling you, this particular year, when you say the Stanley Park Open, that equals the current year, 2015. And by my eyeballs, this is the 84th year of this piece of machinery, which is a lot longer than any of the players that are attending will have been on the planet. And I mean, come on, people, with an organizer that looks that good, how can you pass it up? No, seriously. That is a beautiful photo, though. That's a great marketing photo. Man, I want a tennis racket that large. One of the most underappreciated sporting events in this city started last Friday night. Friday divides by 3. So we're on Wednesday the next week. At the Stanley Park tennis courts. So tennis courts divides by 3. And the event has withstood everything from dreadful roots coming up through the asphalt surfaces. 84 years it's been running. The Stanley Park Open, so there it is, 225. Always has been touted as either the biggest or one of the biggest public tennis tournaments in the world. How can it be one of the biggest public tennis tournaments in the world? Does that mean it's just like, oh, it's free for anyone to enter? Right, that's why it's called the Open, I guess. And while it's changed a little, more international, it's the same. The International Tennis Federation divides by 3. Add that one to your party. The International Tennis Federation. You're just like, yep, I'm solving everything world history here, and it's blooming fun. And it's a treasure hunt, and now you're going to be excited about going to Stanley Park to see this great event. We're just going to see if there's any other gems I want to get here. Clearly, well, I guess the main thing is for us to get down there and find out when the dates and the times of all this are. And I think that's hilarious. This is an actual statue in Stanley Park, but they photoshopped Lord Stanley holding on to a tennis racket, tossing up a tennis ball. That's really awesome. I think she's, I mean, come on, look at how beautiful she is. Like, how can you resist, like, getting involved with this event? Like, come on, people. It's like a tennis player that good looking. How can you not be a part of this? So he's kind of talking, he's going through the history, because obviously he's been around for a while. And he's just, yeah, he's kind of going through the history of it all. See how much this means to people who have been around, you know. Man. Okay. So, since 1931, that's the key number that I wanted to find here. That's when it began. 1931! Wow! A tennis tournament in Vancouver from 1931? And no one ever told me this? 1931. That's like, that is exactly 84 years to this current year. And 84 is a king number for the number 3. It's all factor 8. It's a 7-fold set of 12s. Trust me. It equals daughter, for example. Like she is a daughter of someone. If in Christ Jesus, she is a daughter of God. Daughter equals 84. This is the 84th year of this tournament. It is a king number for 3. Son equals 48. Same digits reversed. So this is the 84th year. It started in 1931. Wow. The Stanley Park Open. And it's tennis. And God has been leading me to play tennis recently. Whoa. Tennis is 81. Do the math on the letters yourself. The first 3 letters are 39. The last 3 letters are 42. Both divide by 3, differing by 3. They add perfectly to 81, which is love plus half a love. And of course, when you play tennis, you keep score by saying love. Why? Because God is love. And the story belongs to Him. Love 15, we say, for the first point. Love 15, because 15 is God's favorite number to glorify the number 3. Then we say love 30. And if you're really good, you'll understand that love 40, you know, the word 40 divides by 3 in text. And then 15 plus 30 plus 40 in text all divide by 3. And then 45, I believe it goes next, divides by 3. And then 50. I think that's how tennis scoring goes. Deuces divides by... So, yeah, so... And of course, love is love, divides by 3. But the word 15 is plus 2. The word 30 is plus 1. So those knit together to make a multiple of 3. 40 divides by 3. 45 divides by 3. 50 divides by 3. So everything that comes out of your mouth when you're saying the score of a tennis match, and of course match divides by 3, glorifies the number 3. But the fact that you say love 15 or love 30, the fact that you're saying the word love and God is love, you're like, you got to play tennis, man. Like, you got to get into this. You got to, like, you know, find a wife that looks like this and like play tennis or something like that. No, I'm serious. Like, it's just like, whoa, tennis. I'm just screaming it. This is crazy. Since 1931, the event has been held pretty much every year at a time to varying degrees of interest. So her name is Christina. So can you find love in Christ? Yeah, love is at the center of Christ, which is at the center of Christina. Hers is spelled with a K. But now, Blakovich and former pro and tennis BC executive director Mark Roberts, who won the tournament. Oh, he won the tournament in 1980 and 81. I was born in 82. Are trying to recapture some of the magic the tournament once held. I don't mind using the word magic divides by 3. I don't mind using the word magic in reference to just, yeah, nostalgia, etherealness, wonder, beauty. Okay. And when somebody like Blakovich, who's just out of college tennis, has that much respect for the tradition of the event, I'm in love with this woman already. You're dealing with someone special. Someone with some appreciation of things that make this city special. That is commendable. But here's a young lady that's just out of college, apparently, in tennis, and she's taking over the direction of this 84-year public tennis tournament. That's an impressive woman. Whether it's possible to pull off this revitalization remains to be seen, but they're going to be giving it the old promotional try, and if that doesn't produce the desired results, there will doubtless be other approaches. Given the lavish history of this classic Vancouver event, you have to wish them luck. I think this is wonderful. I gotta get out there. Stanley Park Open, tournament director, Christina Blakovich, is among those trying to recapture some of the magic of the 84-year-old public tennis competition once had in Vancouver. Look at how beautiful she is. I mean, let's not miss the obvious here. Look at how beautiful she is. How can you resist not being a part of this event? Like, that is fantastic. You can solve like the tennis racket, the whole 9 yards. I like the fact that the only number on the tennis racket is the number 90, which is king for 3. Okay? There it is. The word king in Hebrew equals 90, 3 times 30. You could solve the whole detail pro staff. And you gotta be kidding me though. The Stanley Park Open. That's an awesome photo. Stanley Park Open. There's a lot of sponsors. What else does it say on that? Seniors? Man, it sounds like it's an open for all ages. Man, that is inspiring. So I got to get some scheduled information on this. I love the fact that the number he mentions regarding the sizes of the crowds is 3,000. Like I just very well that God is pouring out the threes like crazy in this year, and especially as are delivered to me. 3,000 crowds of up to 3,000. Of course, crowd and fan and people all divide by 3. It's just obvious. It's like, hello, go to this tournament. You know, if not physically, at least in spirit. Amazing. Okay. That is very cool. Exceptionally cool. Exceptionally cool. That is very attractive. So the Stanley Park Open. So Stanley Park Open is 8 times AAA. But the coolest part about that was that Stanley, like you could slice that in half. Stanley was 96, 4 24s, 4 AAAs. Park Open is the exact same number. Stanley Park Open is 4 24s plus 4 24s, that's 8 24s, that's 8 times AAA. And it's the 84th year of this tournament. God is right on time. I am telling you folks, I am telling you by God Almighty that this year will certainly be a very special year for the Stanley Park Open tennis tournament here in Vancouver. If you can make it out, just make it out. Like, just somehow get there. Somehow get there. It's been gorgeously sunny. It's going to continue to be gorgeously sunny. Look at how beautiful the director is. It's like, get out there. Here's this recent college, I don't know how old she is. Apparently she's just out of college tennis. She still dreams of being in the Women's Tennis Association tour or whatever. She's the organizer of this fine event. It's the oldest, is it the oldest in Vancouver? That is phenomenal. 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 A definite gem. You just want to kiss this person for organizing all that. That's so cool. So Stanley Park Open. Pan Am Games, Toronto. Oh. Speaking of fun stories, this one is hilarious. Now I'm going to take you into detailed stories that God is ordaining for the number 3. Check out what's on the back of this one. Okay. Here it is. Now, I particularly want to crease that one because that's a really nice. But here it is. This is a really fun local story here. I'm going to make this one a little bit quicker here. But an obvious 3-fest story here. So here's a red bike. Red is the king of colors. It's Trek. Trek divides by 3. Bike divides by 3. What is special about this story? This bike was the official bike to commemorate the 75th anniversary of CAPS bicycles. Well, CAPS divides by 3, starting with the letter C, which is 3. Trek bike divides by 3. Red is the king of colors. Red, Trek, bike divides by 3. Oh, who's this manager in red who owned the store that had this bike? What's the story here? The bike was stolen, and then the bike was recovered by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, and the Royal Canadian Mounted Police divides by 3 by Divine Ordinance. And so because this bike was stolen, and then it was recovered, now it's in the local newspaper, so I can be preaching on the glory of God for the number 3, and so you can be reminded that God is sovereign, and when something gets lost in your life, you do as Job did in the Bible, and you praise God. And you worship God, knowing that He's got a plan, knowing that He has a bigger story. He's got something cooler in the workings that you don't see right now. Your job is to just say, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you that we lost this bike. Thank you that someone stole it. Thank you that this loss happened. Thank you that this happened, and thank you that you are insanely good, insanely wise, insanely clever, insanely surprising, and completely love. And so now the bike is recovered, and it makes for the most obvious three-fest story. Now it's in the newspaper, and I get to preach on it to the glory of God. Owner geared up over bike's return. RCMP delivers shops stolen bicycle. Oh, where did this take place? Port Coquitlam. Both words divide by 3. Nice red letters there. Red letters divides by 3. Port Coquitlam. Both parts divide by 3. Owner divides by 3. Bike. And of course the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Police divides by 3. Royal Canadian Mounted divides by 3. What's her name? Oh, manager Chelsea Hobbs. There she is in red. Chelsea starts with C, which is 3. Her full name, do the math yourself, divides by 3. She's really happy because she got her bike back. Okay, so this happened in Port Coquitlam, divides by 3. This is too fun. Too fun. Even her husband's name, apparently they would be, or they're at least related because he is Glenn Hobbs. So let's get this straight. In this photo you've got Glenn Hobbs and Chelsea Hobbs. Chelsea Hobbs divides by 3. Glenn Hobbs divides by 3. Red is the king of colors. 3 times 3 times 3. Bike divides by 3. Trek divides by 3. Oh, what's special about this bike? It's the bike for their 75th anniversary. Because 75 divides by 3. It's a king for number 3, divides by 15. Oh, what's the name of the store? Caps. Caps Bicycles. C-A-P-S divides by 3. It's 39. Holds up the 75th anniversary Trek bike that was recovered by the RCMP after it was stolen from the store on June 17th. I mean, the bike is like composed of pure triangles. Every bike frame is, of course, like pure triangles. And it's red. The Trek is, oh my goodness, Trek equals love. Well, shut my mouth and call me ordained. Trek equals love. Trek equals love! Delivered into the palm of my hands, free of charge. Every morning, I just go out and scoop up the newspapers and say, yep, thank you God for working all day and all night and all month and all year, and all I have to do is just come along and scoop up the stories and preach them on video once and for all time in world history. Trek equals love. Do the math yourself. This bike has a name. Its name is love. Trek. Zoom in. Trek equals love. R is 18. T plus E plus K are 3 plus 2's. 20 plus 5 plus 11 equals 36. Add that to the R, you get 54 equals love. So Trek equals love. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Trek equals love. The color of the bike is red, which is the color of love. Red equals 27, which is half a love. So it's a red Trek, which is love plus half a love. Don't you just want to study this bike a little bit more closely now? This bike is now world famous. Now we're going to analyze this bike and like count the number of spokes and like the other letters that are on it and like what official like style and what number version of Trek bike is it and like what other text is like hidden on this thing and like what other threes are going to come forth from this bike. We're just like, this is an obvious God story here for number 3. It's like, man, I'm just wanting to count spokes right now. I mean, it's like, click, boo. Whoa. Crazy. Of course, the word pedals divides by 3. And you have 2 pedals, just like you have 2 feet. So the word feet divides by 3, and pedals divides by 3. Pedals, by my calculations, is 57, which is 888 by the law of prime. So that's really cool. So 1 pedal is a double of 8, to the glory of Jesus was 8. 2 8s equals gold. Okay, I'm giving you the 8th prime here. And then multiple pedals is 3 8s. I can go for a long time on this. Like one idea is 1 8, multiple ideas is 2 8s. Same with the word concept. I believe one concept is 4 19ths, 4 of the 8th prime. Multiple concepts is 5 eighths. It's all to the glory of Jesus equals 8 8. But so that's the word pedals there. Pedals 56, and then bike is you gotta be kidding me. Bike is half a love. You've got to be kidding me. Bike is you've got to be kidding me. And the word trek parallels the word bike. Like, watch this. The word trek perfectly parallels the word bike, where the second letter divides by 3. In fact, it divides by 9. R is double 9. I is 9. And then you got the same letters on the end, E, K, K, E. T and B are both plus 2, differing by 18. The amazing thing is trek equals 54 equals love, and bike perfectly equals 27 equals half a love. Okay, and I'm keeping these words here because I got to remember to remind myself to preach on those. Bike equals half a love, trek equals love. Bike equals 27, trek equals love, but they align themselves. The letters are all plus 2. The I in the second position is 9, the R is double that in trek in the same position. Then you've got 3 plus 2 sharing 2 of the same letters, E and K. It's just too obvious. It's too obvious that the word trek was foreordained to get married to the word bike. And then the word red added to the party. Like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, the only letters that divide by 3 in each of these words divide by 9. R is double 9, R is double 9, I is 9. So a red trek bike is, say it with me, half a love plus half a love is love plus love equals worship. And then the word found divides by 3, starting with F, which is 6, followed by love, perfectly. So a red trek bike found to the glory of the Triune God in love. This is insane. So bike, just bike is 27. So, okay, what is it? What is it? It's a bike. Bike equals 27, half a love. 3 times 3 times 3. What color is the bike? Oh, it's red, which is the same number as bike. 27, 3 times 3 times 3. So a red bike is half a love plus half a love equals love perfectly. The bike is trek. Trek equals love. So a red trek bike is love plus love. I have just declared that sales of red trek bikes are going to go through the roof once this revelation gets to all of mankind. People are going to be buying red trek bikes like everywhere, and they're going to put the word love on them. And Trek is going to create a red bike line that says love on it. I need to change to a red t-shirt. Don't worry, folks, I'm coming right back. Red is the king of colors, and to honor this celebratory moment, I'm changing to red. Thank you very much. Red is the king of colors, and that's why I rebranded our whiteboard here with red around the edges. So, red, you've got to be kidding me. Where did that go? I just got so excited I threw that down. So on one side of this paper, you've got the Stanley Park Open with this gorgeous, lovely lady directing the whole operation. On the other side, you've got this red trek bike with these fantastic people in love like crazy. What is going on here? Well, God is going on here. All this happened in Port Coquitlam. Both words divide by 3. You know, God highlights things in red letters, so you pay attention. Port Coquitlam, red letters divides by 3. Port Coquitlam divides by 3. Man, I want a red trek bike right now. I'm like, Daddy, that's the perfect bike. People need to go red or go home. Red, brand everything in love and get everything red. Now it's been proven mathematically that a red bike is the best color for a bike. And then you should call the bike love. And you should call the bike, Trek needs to produce a love bike. That's the name of it. It's called the Trek Love. And it'll sell like hotcakes. And make them all red. Make the tires red. Make the seat red. Make the horn red. Make the handlebars red. And put like, you know, the female version, put red hearts on it. Heck, I'd buy the heart version. Put big hearts on the wheels. I'd buy it. I'd be like, this is hilarious. The red Trek bike. 75 years in the making, this story. Because the store is 75 years old. Owners geared up after bike's return. Indeed, I'm geared up. Now I want to study this bike. Of course, the most important part of the bike is the seat and the handles. seat divides by 3, handles divides by 3. You can solve every component that you want. Okay. This is phenomenal. Man, I want to study that bike in detail now. It's like I want to know what kind of version of Trek it is. Like, I see a red X there. Like, I'm pretty sure I see like a red X. X is 24888 right there. Like, I just want to know more details about the actual brand and model of that Trek bike. Because you'll get more 3s. I promise you. You will get more 3s out of this bike. Okay, let's read the story. This is all being reported in the province, which divides by 3. On page 12, which divides by 3. Oh, and these are king numbers for 3, by the way. This page here is 57, 888 by the law of prime. Triple of the 19s. 12, of course, is a king for number 3. God is sovereign, folks. And he delivers 3s into the palm of my hands like you wouldn't believe. Well, you can believe it because it's before your very eyes. And so you can call it a bike or you can call it a cycle, like this article does. So RCMP, delivered, shop, stolen, cycle. Or it's a bike. Well, the word cycle divides by 3 just like bike. And then so bicycles divides by 3 and tricycles divides by 3, plural. But cycle is 48. A double of 24. It's a double of 888s. Okay, breathe. Here we go. So it's a one-of-a-kind carbon fiber, and carbon fiber divides by 3. So what kind of bike is this? Carbon fiber. Well, carbon fiber divides by 3. And what's cool about carbon fiber is both words start with letters that divide by 3. And then you've got an AB plus 3 in there. Carbon fiber is, by my calculations, 18 plus 18, 36 plus 3, 39. Love plus 21, I believe. Yeah, I found love really easily in carbon fiber. So carbon fiber, road, bicycle. And hope was fading that it wouldn't be recovered after it disappeared following a June 17th. That's over a month ago almost. It's almost a full month ago. Today's the July 8th. It's almost a month ago that it was stolen. Break-in at the Caps Westwood Cycles store in Port Coquitlam. The last weekend, it's a $13,000 bike. Even the number 13,000, 13 glorifies the number 3. Okay. And when you speak 13, T-H-I-R-T-E-E-N, that divides by 3. And then 1,000 divides by 3. So the bike's price and dollars divides by 3. So I'm not pulling any punches here, folks. This is straight up, read it for yourself. So $13,000 is the official value of the bike. Well, 13 divides by 3, T-H-I-R-T-E-E-N. 13 divides by 3, 1,000 divides by 3, dollars divides by 3. So in 3 words, the price of this bike divides by 3. $13,000. Bam! I love God. Okay, so the $13,000 bike that was mysteriously taken from the showroom divides by 3, of the store, was handed back to the business by the Coquitlam RCMP. Coquitlam divides by 3, Royal Canadian Mounted Police divides by 3. Perfect! When store manager Chelsea Hobbs, you gotta be kidding me, she's age 27. Wow, 27 equals bike, equals red, equals half a love. And Chelsea Hobbs divides by 3. Okay, so there it is right there. So, there it is right there. So, Chelsea Hobbs divides by 3, age 27. 3 times 3 times 3, 27 equals bike, equals red, equals half a love. My age is 33. By Divine Ordinance, this is the year of the 3. God is just revealing the 3s of world history like a flood upon people. Myself being the first and foremost, as far as I know. And yes, I was even led to make this piece of art of the $33 I received from Scott on my birthday. And 32 loonies plus 4 quarters. And there you go. And Derek plus Scott divides by 3. And he was not the slightest bit aware that I was receiving these numbers, revelations, and still is not aware. But Derek plus Scott equals 33, and I was led to make this gorgeous piece of art. Gold plus silver, 4 quarters down at the bottom, okay? Gold plus silver equals 1, 2, 3. And when I was actually opening this gift, I commented, you could play chess with these loonies. That's what the thought, and in fact that was prophetic, because there's exactly 32 loonies, which is the number of pieces on the chessboard. I put 16 loonies in this 3 and 16 loonies in that 3, the exact number of pieces needed to play chess, and you've got 4 quarters left over to bump it up perfectly to 33. So gold plus silver, the colors of these coins, adds perfectly to 1, 2, 3. Okay, and of course art divides by 3. Okay, so her age is 27, which equals red, which equals bike, which equals half a track, which equals half a love. Okay, 3 times 3 times 3.